Yemen's Houthi fighters have been accused of using violence and torture to silence their political rivals, as the family of an activist abducted by the group said their son died from wounds suffered in captivity. The family of Saleh al-Bashiri told Al Jazeera on Saturday that the Houthis were responsible for their son's death after pictures posted on social media purportedly showed their son's bruised and swollen body. Bashiri was abducted along with 3 others last week after participating in an anti-Houthi protest in the capital Sanaa. Fouad al-Hamdani, an activist who was also released by the Houthis, told Al Jazeera that he was beaten and forced to make confessions against his will. "They kept beating me, torturing me for hours. They wanted false confessions, things that I was never involved in. They wanted me to lie and say that Nobel Laureate Tawakkol Karman and other figures were paying us to protest against them, that American and British organizations are instigating the youth in Yemen against them, that they are paying us money to protest against the Houthis, all lies." On Saturday, the Shia group, that took control of the government in a coup on February 6, fired live rounds to disperse thousands of protesters in central Yemen, as security fears prompted more foreign governments to close their embassies in Sanaa. The Shia fighters have been accused of attacking and detaining protesters as well as reporters covering demonstrations against their seizure of power. Demonstrations erupted in the capital Sanaa, as well as the cities of Ib, Aden, Taiz, and Damar. In Ib, 4 people were injured when Houthi gunmen fired on protesters, medics said. The Houthis have banned all demonstrations unless they are authorized by the Interior Ministry, which itself is now under the group's control. The group dissolved parliament and appointed Mohammed Ali al-Houthi, a cousin of the group's leader Abdel Malik al-Houthi, as the new president. The group has defended its coup, calling it a glorious revolution that has broken the shackles of injustice and corruption. Since the coup, fears over instability have grown, with the US, France, Britain, Germany, Italy and Saudi Arabia closing their embassies. On Saturday, Spain, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates said they would close their missions, citing security concerns. The embassy closures have isolated Yemen's new rulers and lent urgency to struggling talks over internal power sharing, which the Houthis are conducting with opposition parties. In a separate development, heavy clashes were reported on Saturday as Houthi fighters fought Sunni tribesmen in the southern mountainous province of al-Baida. At least 16 Houthis and 10 Sunni tribesmen were killed, security officials and tribal sources said. The rise of the Houthis began last year when they descended from their heartland in northern Saada province, fighting their way towards Sanaa and defeating tribal and military rivals along the way. In September, they flooded into Sanaa, and raided major state institutions and military bases. The group has repeatedly rejected accusations that it wants to restore a Zaydi imamate, a theocracy that lasted for 9 centuries until 1962.